hello. That you can see my full mat. I think we're good. I'm gonna grab a couple blocks, a strap, and I'm gonna try to record this. Oh, I already got a couple blocks. I'm gonna try and record this on my phone so that I can maybe put this up on YouTube. So go ahead and get your stuff together and get ready. Setting up. Ooh, it's super cold in here. I've got a block of strap. I wanted to show you guys this in case you were interested. I use a Lifewear mat. And you know what they have now? They have these pieces of mat pad that you can put on your mat for kneeling, which I think is absolutely great. If you're interested in a Lifewear mat, I love them. They are an investment, I'm not gonna lie, and I don't promote things that I don't love, so I love this mat. And if you want one, you can get one with my special code Diane, all capital letters, BY2019, and you can get a discount. I like them because they're a great mat, and they also support social justice charities, which I love. So that was just a little plug for my mat, in case you were asking, because people often ask me what mat I'm using. And I'm just gonna grab a bolster and a blanket, because my yoga space is freezing. I think it's actually warmer outside than it is in here. All right. Okay, let me get to seated on my mat. We're gonna start in like 2 minutes. So I can't see your comments because I'm so far away, so I'm gonna see if I can kind of watch it on my phone, and then I can answer any questions. So earlier I asked, were there any poses that you wanted to do? Were there any poses? Oh, maybe I can't watch myself on it. Well, I'll come over there anyway. Are there any poses that you want to do before we get started? Got my socks on because I'm so cold. Happy New Year. I'm laying in bed, but next time, yeah, this will be up for 24 hours. Thank you. Starting the new year with you, I'll let... You're so kind. So, yeah, are there any poses that you, hip opening? Always, always for me. Hamstring stretching for me too. Is there anything else you guys want to work on? Anywhere you're feeling tight? Anything like that? Hello to everybody. I'm just kind of scrolling through to see if I missed any comments when I was setting up. Hello to everybody. Thank you for being here. And just remember, I have a tendency to speed up when I'm teaching. I'm fully aware of this, and it's problematic. So I just want you to remember that you can go at your own pace, and my goal is to do a lot of breathing so that I slow myself down, but I just get really excited in my practice, and sometimes I speed up. So we'll work on lower back for sure. We'll do grounding. We'll stretch out hamstrings. So what you'll need for this practice are the things that you like to practice with. I like to have 2 blocks, a blanket, and a strap. So just if you want to grab that. And let's start with our grounding. Let's go ahead and come to seated on our mat. I'm going to take my phone with me so I can keep track of the time, or I'll keep you here all day. I just love it so much that I'll keep you here all day. So for me, a grounding thing to do is to come to seated. Maybe lying down is more grounded for you, so go ahead and lay down if that's the practice you prefer to do. I'm going to take off my socks because I can't focus on my practice when I have my socks on, no matter how cold it is in this room. But go ahead and come to a comfortable seat or laying down, whatever that looks like for you. And just go ahead and close your eyes. So for me, I have a really curvy back as a plus-sized person, so I like to sit up on a blanket, bolster, or meditation cushion, or even a block, just so that my hips and my spine is elevated, and my legs can descend, so that my knees are on a downward trajectory from my hip bones. And that feels very supported, stable, and grounded in my body. It may not for you, but if you want to give it a try, I recommend it. But come to a position where you can make contact with the mat in a way that feels supported. So that's part of grounding, is that you need to feel supported. So go ahead and close your eyes. Once you're in that position, I like to root down through my sitting bones, lengthen out of the crown of my head, and then draw my shoulder blades back and together, just because it lifts my heart, and I feel like I can take a much deeper breath here. And want you to come into your breath and just notice it. You don't have to change it in any way, but just notice it. Notice the breath. Just relax. And now perhaps close your lips if you like and breathe in and out through your nose if that feels comfortable and available to you. Your natural breath is always your best option, so whatever feels natural and feels good in your body. Good. Let's take a few more breaths and just really relax the shoulders and the jaw. Find the breath. Now, if you're laying down, I'm going to invite you to come to a comfortable seat. I'm going to transition from sitting on my meditation cushion to kneeling on it. So I just rested on the back of my calves and I press the tops of my feet down. I'm still elevated and it just feels better for me in my back. So find that seat that makes the most sense, and we're going to do a little bit of movement now. On the inhale, let's reach our arms high to the sky. Turn your palms upward. Maybe bring your palms together and then bring your thumbs back through center. Let's do this again. Inhale, reach out. And exhale, come down through the center. Just moving. Let's do two more. And just move at your own pace. Again, I tend to speed up, so give yourself permission to go slower than me, if that's what works. And then once you bring your hands through heart center, let's take our left hand to the floor. Inhale, and reach our right arm up and over the ear. And I like to press into my hand, turn my chest up to the sky, and then observe the sensation I feel in my body, just from seated. And then inhale, come up. And let's do the second side. And just sweeping the side ribs, right? We're opening all the way up through the sides of the body, turning the chest up to the sky. Beautiful. And come back. Now from seated, we can either do a cat-cow sitting here. If your knees feel good and you can put weight in your wrists, you can come onto your hands and knees, making sure your hands are nice and far apart, walking your knees behind your hips a little bit, and we'll do a little cat-cow. I'm going to show it from seated if you want to stand seated. So you're curling your shoulders forward and then curling the heart open. So as you exhale, you'll round. And as you inhale, you open. And I'm just doing it with big arms. If you don't want to, you can keep your hands on your waist or hands on your knees. So just go ahead and feel what's going on. And when I curl in, I really pull my low ribs toward my hips and try to puff out my back just to get maximum range of motion. And when I do that, I feel this delicious stretch in the front of my thighs that I really enjoy, that I don't get on hands and knees. The hands and knees really isolate the back more, but I can really play with the shoulders from seated. I can really open the tops of the thighs from seated. So I invite you to kind of experiment with how you want to do cat-cow. Good. And then come back to a flat back if you're on hands and knees, or come back to seated. Let's take a few breaths here. If you're in hands and knees, tabletop position, bring your big toes together, knees wide, and recline back to a child's pose if that's comfortable. If you're in seated, let's take a side bend. Left hand to the floor, right arm up and overhead. We're just taking a little side bend here. And release. And do the second side. Just take your time. And release. Good. Now let's make our way on to our hands and knees for everybody. So if you're in child's pose, you can come back up. If you're kneeling, go ahead and pad your knees. So I've got my pad underneath my knees. You can also use a blanket. You can also use two mats. You can double your mat up or fold your mat. And then bringing your knees slightly back from your hips and your hands slightly in front. Let's just rock back and forth. So I to use this particular movement as an alternative to traditional vinyasa. So the alternative from down dog to plank to cobra, right, back to down dog. I like to offer this. So if you're not feeling that today, this is a nice alternative. For those of you who want low back stretch and hip opening, child's pose is really delicious here. If you're having a hard time doing child's pose, you can also come onto your back and take your knees into your chest. That's another way to kind of stretch out the back in the same kind of way. So either rocking back and forth or coming onto your back and just rocking side to side. So you pick whichever makes the most sense for you and find your breath here. Let's do this for a few moments. And what I like about the rocking back and forth on my hands and knees is that I can get really deep into my hips and stretch out the front of my body, especially the lower part of my abdominal wall feels really stretched here. You may feel it, you may not, but that's what I notice when I practice. Let's do 2 more of these. I'm still battling a cold. And when you're ready, make your way back to tabletop. So if you're on your back, come up to tabletop. And then let's spread our fingertips out nice and wide, walk our hands forward, curl our toes under, and lift our butt, and get back into a big inverted V. Now, if down dog is not your jam, please stay in your tabletop position. Sit your bottom back towards your heels and stretch your arms forward. So that's option 1. Option 2, you can come into down dog. Please pick your option. Taking a few really deep breaths here, really pressing into your hands. If you're doing your puppy pose, which is the second option, really root your sitting bones back towards your heels. If you're in down dog, I'm going to invite you to just claw the mat, rotate the upper arms in, and press your heels back toward the floor, and just feel what you're feeling in your body. And then when you're ready, I'm going to invite you to walk your hands back towards your feet. You can also do this from puppy, and make your way to your version of a forward fold. So just use what you've got, your props, your blocks, to find your way to forward fold. Soften your knees. So this is a great place to have blocks. If your fingertips don't reach the floor, bring the floor to you with blocks. Hands to the waist, shoulder blades on the back. Inhale, let's come up to standing. And now let's just walk to the front of our mat. Feet about 2 of your fists width apart. Press down through your feet. Draw the shoulder blades onto the back. Take a deep breath in. Inhale, reach your arms high to the sky. Right hand comes to left wrist, and let's crescent over. Back through center. Second side, crescent over. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold, reach back behind you. So you're bringing your chest towards your legs. Take your legs out wider if you need to make space for your body in this practice. And you can keep your arms open here, or if it's available to you, you can also lace the fingertips together. Let the arms fall forward. But if that's not available, go ahead and grab your strap and use that to open your shoulders up. I like to place a little loop around it and hold the outer edges of the loop. Inhale, come up. Keeping either your hands clasped together or open, go ahead and pull the head of the arm bones back, push down through your feet, and lift your heart a little back bend. You can bring the hands away from the body, or you can keep them in. There's more range of motion with the strap. And then exhale, release. Place your strap somewhere close so it's close to you. And let's step back with the left foot and come straight into a warrior position. Now, making sure that knee's in line with the ankles so that you can still see your toes. And try to be a big warrior. Don't be afraid to take up a lot of space on your mat and in your body. I like to circle my arms open into a T and bend into the square of my knee. Good. Pushing away with the back leg. Let's just take a moment here to breathe. And then on the inhale, let's straighten out through the front leg. Reach your fingertips up to the sky. Bring our palms together and pivot the right toe forward. Hands come to the waist. Soften the knees. Lead with the collarbones. Fold forward. Now, if your hands don't make it to the floor, bring the floor to you by adding blocks here. On an inhale, take a half lift. And on an exhale, fold. Bend the knees, lift the sitting bones. So this is nice low back stretch. A little bit of hip opening here. Inhale, half lift. Bend your knees, place your hands on your thighs, lift with your heart, pivot on your toes, left toes out to the back of the mat. Push out through your back heel, really stabilize because you're a warrior, and get strong here. Big circle with the arms, bend into the square of the knee, look over the center of your left hand, warrior two. Straighten out through that front leg, turn the palms up, sweep the arms together, pivot, woo! Pivot that left toe forward, and then fold. Make sure you press weight into the balls of your feet. I let my toes lift, which is why I almost fell over. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, hands to the thighs, curl up. Right toes turn out, warrior two. Straighten through that front leg. Turn the toe in, hands through heart center, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, hands on the knees are bent, lift with the heart, pivot left toes out, warrior two. So we're going to just keep going that way. Straighten up, reach, pivot, make sure you're putting weight into the front part of your foot so you don't fall back like I did. Fold, inhale, half lift, exhale, fold, hands on the knees, shoulder blades on the back, lift, pivot, right toes out. Good, straighten. Reach up, pivot, fold, half lift, fold, hands on the knees. So you know where we're going, pivoting warrior to the back. So you can speed this up, you can slow this down, you can move with your breath, but take your time. Just feel what's going on in the body. Make sure the legs are strong. Always lead with the heart. That's the philosophy for life, right? Always lead with empathy. Always lead with the heart. Straighten out through that front leg. Reach up. Pivot. Fold. We're going to do two more of these. One more on each side. Lift. Fold. Hands on the knees. Lift the heart. Pivot. Turn out warrior two. Straight leg. Reach up. Remember, you're pushing into the front of the foot so you don't fall backwards. Half lift. Make sure you take your time. Inhale up. Lead with the heart, always lead with empathy. Good. Last time through. Now, next time we come to forward fold, take your half lift, and then let's have some options here. Plant your right hand underneath your nose, take your left hand to your waist, and then maybe twist all the way to the left. Good. Stay there for as many breaths as you feels good, and when you're ready, you can change the left hand to where the right hand was and twist to the right. So I'm just going to invite you to move at your own pace. If you can extend the arm to the sky and that feels good, go ahead. I tend to have tight shoulders, so that never feels right for me. Remember, keeping a soft bend in the knees and just following your own range of motion. So this alternating twist is yummy for me. If it isn't for you, maybe a forward fold is all you need here. Or if you need to ramp it up and you want a little bit more hip hamstring opening, you can do my favorite, you see me do this a lot, is your Russian dancer pose, right? You can play a little bit with Shavasana here, and you can move from side to side. Now, I don't recommend this if you have sensitive knees, because look where my knee is, but we're also strengthening our knee and the sole of our foot, and we're stretching out the bottom of our foot here. So if it's available to you, great. Side to side is an option. If it's not, forward fold is an option, or forward fold with your twist is an option. So let's do a few more of these. Maybe if you're doing the twist, you can do 4 more. Maybe if you're doing the Russian dancer, you can do 2 more on each side. Okay? And maybe if you're just hang out, push your heels apart, because we're going to come back to meet you. So let's return to wide-legged forward fold. Bring our hands to our waist, soften our knees. Inhale, lead with the heart. Beautiful. So let's add on. Turning our left toes out to the top of the mat, warrior two. Straightening out, reaching up. Pivoting the left toes forward, wide-legged forward fold. Half lift. Right hand underneath the nose, left hand to the sky. And reverse, second side. Remember, hand to the waist works as well. Keep going here if this is what you prefer, or add a Russian dancer. One on the right, and one on the left. Back to forward fold. Good, hands on the waist, shoulder blades on the back, lift from the heart. And now turn your right toes out to the top of your mat, warrior two. I just need a tissue, keep going. Straighten out through that right leg, turn the right toes forward, reach the arms to the sky, forward fold. Excuse me, I'm battling a cold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And now take your twist, left hand right underneath your nose, right arm either to your waist or to the sky, whatever feels best. And then alternate. You can stay here if you like, or you can transition to Russian dancer. And you can do, let's do 4. So 4 twists or 4 Russian dancers, whatever you prefer. Good. Make your way back to forward fold. Hands to the waist, shoulder blades on the back. Inhale, lift up. Last time through. Turn your left toes out to the top of your mat. Straighten out through that left foot. Pivot the toes forward. Fold. Half lift. And then either twist or dance. And it's really up to you. And if you want to alternate back and forth between twisting and dancing, that's kind of fun. So this is how you make your practice your own. And again, like I say, I like to speed up at times. You need to slow it down, slow it down. It's all good. When you're ready, meet me back in forward fold. Soften your knees, hands to your waist. Lift from the heart. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, let's heel toe our feet together and make our way to the top of the mat. Now, if you struggle with sun salutes and you have a bolster, you can place a bolster right in the center of your mat. If sun salutes are your favorite and you can jump through them no problem, I'm going to invite you to do your version of sun salutes. I'm going to do a version using the bolster. So finding your point of strength, sorry, me and my nose today, finding your, what I call standing in your power. Feet are about a block width apart or wider. Root down through your feet, firm the center of your body, turn your palms forward. Find a moment to get grounded and breathe. Let's inhale, exhale, and just feel our feet get grounded and breathe. Good. Inhale, let's sweep the arms high to the sky. Exhale, and fold forward. Here's a great place to use blocks. I have my blocks at the other side there. Inhale, half lift. Sometimes bring your hands to your knees is nice. You get a really nice flat back. Move back through that gluteal fold. Exhale and fold. And now I'm going to step back with my right foot and bring the right knee right to the bolster. And come up into a lunge pose. From here, I'm going to bring my hands to the inside of the left foot and step back either to tabletop or downward facing dog. I'm going to choose down dog. And on the inhale, come forward to a plank. And lower down through chaturanga. So chaturanga is your jam. Great. If not, look at how the bolster supports us. Inhale, curl forward through cobra. Exhale, flip the toes under. Press back to down dog. And then I'm going to walk my feet forward by straddling my mat. If you have extra loving in the center of your body, this is a great way to walk to the front of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Because your belly and maybe your breast don't stop you from getting to the top by walking wide. Let's do it again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend at the knees, fold. Blocks are great right here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Now my left leg's going to come back. I'm going to kneel right on the bolster and inhale. Good. From here, I'm going to transition by placing my hands on the inside of my foot, heel toeing my foot out, back to down dog. So I have the power of my hands to push me back, and I can push off my knee. Inhale forward to top of a push-up, and if you like, you can lower down onto your bolster for chaturanga, curl through for cobra, then curl the toes under, press back for down dog. And now, just try it out, even if you're not using the bolster. Take your feet wide and try walking to the top of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center. So if you're using the bolster, keep going. If you're not using the bolster, I'll give you a few more options. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Just root down through your feet. Lift with your gluteal fold here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Right leg steps back, right knee comes to the floor. Inhale, reach up. Here's the option. You can either come back to your downward facing dog or lift the back leg and step back to plank pose. From plank pose, you can lower down through chaturanga and then eventually roll through cobra. You can also flip the toes under, come back in through tabletop, and then lift the hips and come back to down dog. Take your feet out wide and walk your hands and feet together. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Remember, blocks are great right here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Left leg comes back, knee to the ground. This is where I love this pad. Feels so great. That and my leg warmers. Reach up, open up. Beautiful. And then you can step back into a down dog. I'm going right back to plank. From here, lower your knees down. Hug your elbows in. So you're going to rotate your elbows in. Creases of your wrists are the same direction as the top of your mat. And then come through chaturanga. Once you're done, roll through cobra by lowering all the way down and either make your way back to tabletop or back to downward facing dog. Take your feet out nice and wide and try walking your feet forward. Then you can heel toe your feet together when you get to the top. Let's inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So now I don't know about you, but I'm building up a bit of a sweat, which I want and which I like. I like to feel my body moving. That's what I like most about the asana practice, is that connection to the breath. So let's put this vinyasa sun salute together with our little flow. Do a balanced pose and then come to the floor. So find your center, root down through your feet. Lift and spread your toes. Inhale, reach up nice and tall. Exhale, bend the knees. Tip this part of your bottom back so that your chest can come towards the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. I'm going to add an option here. If you're on the bolster, step back, lower down, lower the knee onto the bolster. You can also lower the knee onto your mat, or you can stay up. Sometimes I find this is a little easier if in your larger body not to have to kneel. Good. Exhale, plant the hands, and let's transition into down dog this time. Stepping back to down dog. You can also come to tabletop here instead, and you can rock back and forth from child's and forward if you like. So remember what we did earlier? You can do this instead of your sun salute. Perfect. Forward to plank, lower down. Inhale, roll through. Exhale, back to down dog. Feet out nice and wide, and then walk forward. So we're making space for the center of our bodies. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center, step back. Right foot, warrior two. Find your breath. Woo. Circle your arms into a T. Take a few minutes, bend into the square of the knee, push out through the back leg, smile. Beautiful. Breathe. Hands on your waist. Pivot your left toe forward. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, soften the knees, fold forward. Inhale, half lift if you like. Exhale, fold. You can now take your twist, right hand down, left hand to the sky, and switch. Continue here if that feels good, or add your dancer, aka Russian dancer. I always make the joke about this and the president, but you get it, right? Side to side. Russian dancer, side to side. Good. Beautiful. Come back to your flat back. Forward fold. Soften your knees. Hands on your waist. Inhale. Lift with the heart. Go ahead and turn the left toes or right toes out to the back of your mat. Warrior two. Good. Just be here in your breath. Push your legs apart energetically and be tall through your body. And just take a moment to appreciate your body showing up for you today. For those of you who may have partied last night. Good. It's nice when your body shows up. You can bring your hands to your waist, or you can sweep your arms up and fold. Good. Inhale, half lift. Good. Exhale, fold. Now you can take your twist if you like. Right hand down, left hand to the waist, or you can alternate between your twists and my favorite. This is just my favorite, Russian dancer. Chances are if you're practicing with me, we're going to do a version of this. Remember, you don't have to come as deep in these poses. Back to your twist. Russian dancer can also look like this. Okay, little nod to the 80s workout videos. Okay, it can also look like this. Finish the side that you're on and come back to your wide-legged forward fold. Make sure you feel balanced. So if you need to do another side again, by all means. Beautiful. Now we're going to do a little change up, switch up. Pressing your heels apart, softening down to the mat. Go ahead and look over at your right big toe. I tend to like to smile at mine. And let's pivot our right toe right to the top of the mat and spin up to our left ball of our foot. Now here's the option to either lower the knee down, okay, right here, or keep it high. So the option's really yours. It really depends on what you want. Beautiful. Reach up, take a moment, and on the exhale, fingertips can come to blocks or to the floor, and step your feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Go ahead and grab a block and a strap. Come to the center of your mat. We're going to play with a couple of balance poses. 3 actually, not a couple, but 3. I'm going to go ahead and put the strap around my neck so I don't have to pick it up off the floor. I love this strap. I got it at the Amplify and Activate conference last year, and it's the best thing ever. It's got a loop in it, which is what I love. So find your rooting, find your grounding, find where you are. And let's root down through the right foot first. Find that dristy or that focal point on the floor. And we'll start with a tree. So you can either bring your heel to the inside of your ankle, your foot to the inside of your shin, your foot to your block, or if it's available to you, and it's usually not for me, foot to the inside of the thigh. Yeah, that doesn't work for me, so I'm just gonna stay down here. And be a tree. So you can add your branches in whatever creative ways you wanna play with tree. Beautiful, breathe. And release. Let's do the second side. Remember you have options. Root down through your left foot, find that space on the floor, and come to your version of tree. Heel at the ankle, foot at the shin, or if you're good, upper inner thigh if you've got that kind of flexibility and balance. Feel free to explore it. You can also bring your foot to the block. Beautiful, one more breath. Good, come out of it, shake it out. So you can come back to tree as your second option for balance poses, or you can play a little bit with Utita Hastaparustasan, hand big toe pose, hand big toe pose. So I've got a strap that's got a loop that threads through, and I'm gonna loop my strap in a loop that's about the size of my shoulder. Gonna root down through my right foot and find my dristy point on the floor and bring my right foot, my left foot into the strap. So I may just hold it here as my version of hand big toe pose. I might straighten it out in front. Okay, it might look like this. Or I might tighten down, grab it a little bit closer. We've done a lot of hamstring work, so maybe I might come out here. But pick your pose. Tree is a good one. Any version of this pose works well. Stay here, breathe, or if you're feeling ambitious, you can bring the strap behind you and perhaps take a dancer pose. That was totally on the fly. Exhale and release. Take a moment to catch your breath and take a moment to clean my nose. Okay? And let's do the second side. Root down through the left foot. Again, tree is always your best option if you're feeling a little wonky today. If you're feeling like you want to do hand to big toe pose, you can root down through your left foot. You'll notice I cross my right ankle over my left foot to find the balance. And then option 1, option 2, option 3. Woo. Pick your options. One side's always better than the other, right? Easier than the other. Comes to balance. And then if you want to transition, maybe you come to a dancer pose. Maybe. And release. Go ahead and shake it out. And find yourself at the top of your mat. Catch your breath. Inhale, sweep your arms high to the sky. Exhale and fold. I'm using my blocks here. Inhale, half lift. I'm going to put my blocks on the flat side and step back to down dog. I do love the markings on this mat, I gotta tell you. Inhale forward to top of a push-up. Lower down. Maybe a little cobra. And then back to seated. Good job, everybody. We're gonna make our way right back onto our backs. Have your block and your strap, maybe your bolster and blanket close by if that's what you're using today. And let's make our way onto our back. So I feel good enough to just roll back onto my back, but if I have sore backs, which I often have, I make my way onto my side and roll back. I'm gonna grab my block, walk my feet a little bit closer in toward my bottom, press down through my feet, tuck my shoulder blades underneath them, and then slide the block underneath the hips. For bridge pose, option 1, hang out here, enjoy your breath. Option 2, you can grab the sides of the mat, tuck the shoulder blades underneath you more, press into your feet, and perhaps lift your hips up as another option, right? So just find the option that works for you in bridge pose. And then exhale, release the hips down to the floor and release the block out from underneath you. Take a few moments to breathe. And now let's cross our right ankle over our left knee and draw our left knee into our chest. So this is a reverse pigeon, double pigeon, thread the needle. I've heard it called all kinds of things. You can stay here and enjoy the stretch, but if you want a more intense hip opener, I straighten my left leg up and rock up into, you guessed it, fire log pose. So stay option 1, reverse pigeon. Those of us who are like, I need more hips. This will do it. Hands come to the bottom of the thighs. Press your bottom into the earth. Press your feet into your hands and your hands into your feet as you lengthen forward. So you'll feel a stretch maybe on the outer hip when you were lying back on the floor with double pigeon. That's more of an inner hip stretch. My kids are in the other room, so you probably hear that. Good. And let's inhale, make our way back to both feet flat on the floor. So roll back, uncross your legs. Left leg crosses over right. Right knee can either be into the chest. You can hold the top of the block. I don't know where my strap went. Oh, here's my strap. You can also use your strap to either wrap around the front of the foot and the front of the shin or the back of the thigh. So just find where this makes the most amount of sense. You can stay here if this is enough intensity for you. If you want more intensity in your hips, you can rock up into a fire log pose. This is so much stretch, which I need. Woo! My hips are like, yes, ma. And then when you're ready, let's roll back onto our backs and take a happy baby pose. So if grabbing your feet is not an option, then you can just bring the strap, I have to stop saying just, bring the strap around your feet, and you can use this to give you the same effect. What I like to do is wrap the tail of the strap through the center and just hold the center of the strap so it's in a loop. And then, when you're ready, soles of the feet together, knees wide. You can take a reclining Baddha Konasana or butterfly. Breathe and just settle in a little bit. If this is like too much for your back, I'm going to invite you just to draw the knees into center. So just kind of flip it the other way. Breathe. Then gently walk your feet together, bringing your feet flat to the floor. We're going to do eagle pose. So cross your right leg over your left, and then either hook your left elbow under your right, or place opposite hands on the shoulders for eagle pose. Squeeze your thighs together. If you're feeling ambitious, you can lift the legs in. You can bring the palms together. Come into whatever version of eagle pose suits your fancy here. Head down, head up gives you just a little bit more abdominal engagement. Head down. There's still engagement when you bring the knees in, but it's just a little less. It becomes a little bit of a crunch here. Good. And release. Let's do the other side. Left over right. I like to try to squeeze my thighs together here. Option one, you can do I Dream of Jeannie, hands on elbows, hands on shoulders, or if it's available to you. I sometimes find it's available to me because I'm laying on my back and my girls are not in the way. And then you can draw your knees together or not, in or not. Ooh. Beautiful. And release the hands, keep the legs crossed, and then just let your legs fall over to the right side. Woo, that's an intense stretch. If it's too much with the crossed legs, uncross your legs and do a twist that feels good for you. Good. Inhale, back through center. Second side. Ooh, and it's kind of nice with a block here, I find. Nothing like a good twist, right? Good. And then come back through center. Give yourself a hug. Oh, and just give yourself, your body, a little thank you. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for doing whatever you did. And then you can make your way to Shavasana. You can place a bolster underneath your knees. That's where my bolster is. You can also do blocks underneath the thighs. If you don't have a bolster, blocks underneath the thighs are like yummy as well. And you can take as long as you want in Shavasana. So gently tuck your shoulder blades underneath you so that your heart is a little more open. Extend your arms out to the right and the left. And close your eyes and come back to your natural, normal breath. If Shavasana is not your jam, okay, you can also come to your final grounding in seated. But just find a place where you can find stillness for a few moments. And just come back to your breath. can stay here for as long as you like. And I just want to thank you for making yourself a priority today and taking a little bit of downtime and breathing. Hey Shari, you are so welcome. If you like these classes, I'd be up to doing one perhaps a week in the mornings. They're up for 24 hours, so you can do this anytime in the next 24 hours. So it'll be up till like 2 o'clock tomorrow, right? Or 1 o'clock tomorrow. What time is it now? But yeah, it'll be up till like 1 o'clock tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me. And I recorded it, so I'll put it up on YouTube so you can have it forever. All right, everybody, I want to thank you for being here. Have a fabulous New Year's Day. And hopefully, in my travels, we'll get to meet sometime. That'd be really fun. Okay, everybody, you're welcome. Namaste, y'all.